Hey, Lauren.
Hi, Beryl.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
We're on episode 3.
We are on episode 3.
And we're
Yes.
going to be talking about challenges and content creation.
I like it. Challenges and creation. Indeed.
You got my questions and you don't want to guess. I got a recommendations and that I can suggest. Yes, this library questions that are part of the quest. Here's Beryl and Lauren with instruction requests.
Okay.
All right. Hi, Ospreys. I'm Lauren Odom, and I am the Instruction Librarian.
And I'm Beryl White-Bing, and I am the Virtual Learning Librarian.
And this is Instruction Requests, where we talk about common research questions, helpful resources,
and immersive content in the Virtual Learning Center at the Thomas G. Carpenter Library.
Yes.
Okay.
So, to get started here, we're going to talk about a really challenging research question that came through our library chat feature. So we do have, as mentioned in the episode 2, we have a 24/7 library co-op that services our lib chat in the library. And so we had a student come through to ask for help with a PICO question. Now, for
PICO.
PICO is a very common standard practice for our nursing students. And it's a very involved process. And so for those who don't know, PICO stands for Patient Intervention, Comparison, Outcome, and Time. And it is a way to identify best available evidence to improve healthcare outcomes. So this is not your standard research question, and it takes a little bit more than, your standard research consultation would give you. This is not something that typically would be, you would not be able to get your maximum support in a library chat feature, right? So it brought forth to the table a conversation about how we can support our nursing students and make sure they have the support that they need. Mm-hmm. And we have come to the solution that when students have a PICO question, to please
talk to somebody
a
else.
Research consultation. This is very important. Please schedule a research consultation.
And you know what else is important about the research consultations, especially for our graduate and doctoral students, is when you schedule a research consultation, if you could put what your topic is.
Absolutely.
You know, what population you're studying, what your topic is, and what effect on that population you're studying. That way the librarian can prepare, whether it be a 30-minute or a 1-hour consultation, so that you can prepare for your search string that you might suggest that they might use, and the techniques that they might use to find, or the databases that they might use.
Absolutely.
To find the information that they're looking for.
Yes. Thank you, Beryl, because it's important to note that we are not subject matter experts.
No, we are not.
But we are experts of doing research and finding how to help you get to your solution that's going to serve you best.
Yes, and sometimes when you do a research consultation and they are doing in-depth research, you have to, we have over 400 databases, so you can't be an expert on each one. Sometimes you have to prepare for helping someone.
Right.
So especially if you have a very, very challenging research question that you've looked for and you can't find anything, make sure you let that librarian know.
Absolutely.
What you are studying or what you're researching, so that she can or he can create that search string and have a sample search or some idea of how he or she might help you.
Yes. And I do want to note that one of the resources that's available to our nursing students or anyone who might find themselves having to do a PICO type question for their research is that we have a nursing library guide. So you can find that by going to the library website at unf.edu/library. if you scroll down under quick links and click on the LibGuide icon, you can either choose the nursing LibGuide in the list or type in nursing, and then there is a tab for PICO. It says PICO for nutrition, I believe, and it will give you an example and a little visual and a video that you can watch to help you.
You know what? You say LibGuide.
I say
LibGuide.
I say LibGuide, but I know a lot of people say library. They say library.
They say LibGuide because it's library, but lib would indicate there's an E afterwards. So I say lib.
We are on the same team.
LibGuide. Or, you can just simplify it and say library guide.
Yes.
But whether it's potato or potato, that's where you go to find.
That's where you would go. And it's just important to note that whether you have a PICO question or something else that's a little bit more on the challenging side, to make sure that you come and schedule a research consultation with your UNF librarian so that we can make sure that you get the kind of help that you need.
Absolutely true. And make sure you use that little block to say what your research question is.
Absolutely.
What your topic is. I think that's very important. I like to prepare for my research consultation so that I don't waste their time. And I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's very important. Very important. Also, something I should say is our research consultations now are available in person,
yes,
and still through Zoom. But it's important that you just give us a heads up as to what kind of research you're doing, whether it's a literature review or a PICO.
So next, let's talk about EBSCOhost.
Oh my goodness.
So EBSCOhost is a research platform that holds several databases. So we actually have about 43 EBSCOhost databases. And Andy, if you will put that visual up on the screen, we are not showing all 43. This is just about 20 or so of some of the very popular ones. But if you want to go and navigate those EBSCOhost databases, you can go to our library website at unf.edu/library. Click on the link that says database list next to the OneSearch search bar, and you can type in EBSCOhost, and it will bring up all 43 of those databases. Thank you, Andy.
If you're already in OneSearch, there's also a tab on the top bar for a database list. So
absolutely.
Either place.
They have changed their interface.
Oh, my goodness.
So all of those databases look completely different.
I used it yesterday in a research consultation. I used Sentinel with a student who was doing some research, doctoral research, and it was challenging.
Yes.
Because it's completely different than the way it was before.
Yes.
I couldn't find the site. I couldn't find RefWorks. I didn't even know, like, if I wanted to share, you used to be able to click on a link and it would give you a share code that you could share out. Like if you did a search and you wanted to share that search. I guess now you just copy the hyperlink at the top.
So we're still learning how to navigate the new interface, but we want to talk about it today because we are talking about challenges and creation. And so if you are familiar with those EBSCOhost database, my personal favorite is Academic Search Complete. So maybe you've gone into Academic Search Complete or Education Source or other and have been a little shocked and surprised about what you're looking at. And so what is available in the database is still the same. The layout is just a little different, and you'll just have to kind of figure out what is located where. So where we are used to, after doing a search, you still have your predictive text, so I'm very happy about that. But after completing a search, when you have your results, we are used to the filters being located on the left side of the page, and all of those filters are now located on the very top of the page underneath the advanced search bars.
The great thing about Sentinel, which is also under the EBSCO banner, you can narrow it to like the ages that you're studying. Like I had a student yesterday was studying 2 to 5, and it had ages 2 to 5. It had all of the ages, the populations, male, female. All of that was in a drop-down bar further down the page.
Very nice.
So if you're using EBSCO, I would say to look at the EBSCO databases and try to do a couple of sample searches because it has completely changed.
Absolutely. And in choosing a resource that you would like to use, the way that you'll be able to read it is there's a little drop-down menu that will give you the option of either PDF or HTML if that is available. So how you even open those resources is going to be a little different. If you find that you're having a little too many challenges with navigating it, you can always schedule a research consultation with the librarian, and we'll help you.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about what's happening in the VLC.
The VLC. Well, today I want to talk about content creation.
Okay.
You know, that's a big thing, whether you're going to be doing Instagram or you're going to, no, really. In the VLC, we do have some content creation software. And when I say content creation, I mean, if you are doing if you're a faculty member doing research and you want it to be an immersive experience where your research is on display where people can enjoy it in an immersive way, we have content creation software in the VLC. We have, and if you put it up, 3D Vista, we have 3 copies of 3D Vista available in the VLC on stations 11, 12, and 13. And then we have an educational grant license for Unity software. So we have Unity software on all 16 VR stations. And several people have taken advantage of that. Dr. Kaylin Sindelar used our Unity to create her VR experience, Wetlands Walk, which is available in the VLC. And we also created a VR experience that I'm very proud of. Dr. Kevin Fowle in the computing department created Eartha M.M. White VR experience. And Andy, if you put Eartha's picture up, this is Eartha M.M. White. She was a very prominent Northeast Florida native who did a lot for the community. She started the Clara White Mission with her mother in the early part of the 20th century and is still in operation today. She died in 1974, and we have her, much of her papers and things that were left in our special collections. And so Susan Switos, who is the head of special collections, and I got together with Dr. Fowle and were able to create the Eartha M.M. White VR experience using Unity. So if you have research out there that you're doing and you want to put something together, make sure you contact me and we can get other people together. We can do it other ways. We don't have to use Unity. We also have 360 software. The HTC Vive software that we have on the computers will run 360 videos. So if you have a 360 camera that you're using, that you want to survey an area and show your students in an immersive way, you can take that 360, put it on our computers, and they can put the headset on and be there in that space. It doesn't have to be a complete and total experience. It can just be you showing students a video of an area that you're studying. We also have cameras in the VLC. We were able to purchase, we had it purchased for us, the Matterport, which is a 3D camera, and it has LiDAR scanning. That's available for faculty checkout, and it will it does great scanning, which is how we scan the scenes for the Eartha White Experience. We scan the reading room. We scan parts of the Eartha M.M. White Museum to create that VR experience. And some of the things that are coming up, Dr. Fowle has a VR creation class, and we're hoping that his students or him will create a VR experience for the Navy veterans. There's a destroyer downtown, the USS Orlick, and we went down and did a tour. And some of his students are going to go down and do some scanning of that ship. That's going
to be really cool.
To create a virtual reality experience.
Yes.
On that USS Orlick. And we have access to someone who wants to be a part of it, and he's a veteran, and tell his stories in VR. And once you put historical preservation in VR,
yes.
It's there forever for people to experience in an immersive way. So we have tons and tons of ideas.
Yes.
All we need is your content.
Yes.
Then we can create a VR experience.
Yes, that's really amazing because, you're really making history in a big way and preserving that local history, because the Clear White mission is still active in downtown Jacksonville, as you said.
Yes.
That museum is still there. They have a community garden feature there. So you really were able to highlight, this local pioneer in a way that really honors her legacy.
That is absolutely true.
And then moving forward, because we are a military city, which is sometimes easy to forget for some, right? We do have several bases located throughout the city. And so to preserve some of that history is amazing. And that's just the tip of the iceberg as far as that can go.
Absolutely. And I was just notified of another VR experience. It's more of a 360 video that a couple of our faculty members have created it's called River Rising. And it is a 360 video that's on YouTube. And watching it on YouTube, it is in 360, but once you put on a headset and go into YouTube VR and open it, you're sitting on that boat. And then you can see the Ribault River and hear the narration of the narrator. So if you do want to create a VR experience, and students, if you have an idea that you would like to create, stop by the VLC and let's talk about it. Also, that's VR, but we also do AR, which is augmented reality.
Yes.
And augmented reality is where you see the natural environment and then an augmented piece pops up and interacts with you and your environment. And we have a project in the library called Can You Hear Me Now?
Yes. Yes.
We have 10 pictures on the third floor, and they are autographed pictures and lithographs of very famous jazz artists like Marion McPartland, Art Blakely,
Duke
Ellington, Glenn Miller. We have, I think it's 11 of them, 11 pictures and lithographs, and they're all autographed. And we got together with Dr. Kevin Fowle.
Shout out to Dr. Fowle.
And thanks to Niam Jones, who is, I don't know what Niam is at CERT, but anyway, he works at the Center for Research Technology. What is it? What is it, Andy? Center for Instruction, Research, and Technology. He had he's an artist, and his personal program was the Brown Wonder, and it's an augmented reality experience. And so I brought that idea to Kevin and shared Niam's the Brown Wonder with him. And so he looked at that code and used that code as a basis for Can You Hear Me Now? What it is that it's a web-based augmented reality, so you don't have to download an app. You scan a QR code, which activates a scanner. And when you hover your device over any of the pictures, it will play the music of the person and pop up a video of our lovely narrator, who is Lauren. telling you about that particular artist. So if you're a jazz enthusiast and you're interested in participating in that augmented reality experience, it's on the 3rd floor right there by the VLC. We have headphones for you to check out from the VLC to put on because we are a quiet floor.
Yes.
And you pair it to your phone, scan the QR code, hover over the picture, and augmented reality pops up in your face. And you hear music from that particular artist. So that's what's happening. We have a lot of content creation going on in the Virtual Learning Center.
Yes, that's very exciting. Yes, so we are looking forward to people coming in and engaging with that experience. It is called the Jazz Experience, and it is part of a larger project called Can You Hear Me Now?
Okay, there you go.
So just to specify, but like she said, you can come to the VLC, borrow a set of headphones, and engage with that. And so we're excited to do more of those kind of.
Yes, I want to do
the limit.
Yes, content creation. That's the importance of the research consultations.
Yes,
for faculty and for students.
Faculty and
if you
students,
want to create a virtual reality experience or an augmented reality experience, book a research consultation with me.
Yes,
and we can talk about that. And I can pull Kevin in.
The sky really is the limit when it comes to the capabilities.
We can pull someone in who knows how to put it together.
Yes.
And then we can create something.
Right. Consider having a class and having a QR code that your students can scan, and then a video can pop up and play something engaging or educational, something in your classroom that you might want students to engage in, or you have a PowerPoint presentation, and it's just a fun way of having students to engage with the material.
Yeah, you want to engage your students, have them assign a reading, and if they scan that reading, you pop up telling them what you want them to learn.
Right, important notes in your syllabus.
Or the syllabus. Yeah.
So it's just so many different things that can be done, So please come and check that out. But I think that wraps up what we have for
let's see.
3.
What's happening in episode 4? I'm going to tell you. We're going to do research question of the day. We're always going to do. And we're going to talk about chemistry databases.
Yes, we're going to talk about a chemistry database.
And you know what? I just talked to a faculty member this week about a chemistry VR experience.
Nice.
So that'll go along well with that. So that's what we'll talk about next week.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Remember that you can always schedule a research consultation, and you can always fill out an instruction request.